Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would appreciate it and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it and you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today we are discussing one of Zenith's comeback complications from the early 2010s following the financial implosion of the world's economies, as well as the excesses of Zenith's Terry Nataf 2000s. This was one of the watches that helped to steer out of the woods the Zenith manufacturer of Lalogue, Switzerland. 42 millimeters in red gold, it's the El Primero Perpetual Calendar, a limited edition of 50 pieces that is eminently wearable on a human-sized wrist, something that was not always true of 2000's Zenith. The watch is 42 millimeters in diameter, 15.3 millimeters thick, and from lug to lug 50 millimeters. So this is a watch you could wear on a smaller male wrist, which I tend to define as 14 centimeters to 16.5 centimeters. So this watch is fine down to 14 centimeters circumference. If you want to accessorize, 21 millimeters is the lug spacing. And I'm happy Zenith did that because the watch doesn't have to be huge to have a broad lug spacing. 21, 22, that's really the modern standard for a watch to look contemporary with a planted footing, and so Zenith was prescient in the design of this watch. The strap is a wonderful piece, substantial, sheer. You can see the construction along the side, as well as the quality of the material used. Large rectangular scale alligator leather on the top, dark brown, monotone stitch, and a vulcanized rubber insert on the bottom. So this could be a half-decade strap or more, provided you never submerge it. You always have that rubber to separate the oil, sweat, moisture, and grit of the wrist from the alligator leather itself. So the leather will never become compromised by the oils and natural moisture of the wrist. The clasp is a wonderful piece, double deployant and handsomely finished. Double deployants are easier on the wrist than the one big up and over fold of a single fold, which can sometimes pinch your wrist. You can see beautifully finished inside and out. The chassis is curved to match the arc of the underside of your wrist. The buckle has a wonderful graceful teardrop profile that nicely matches the profile of the lugs themselves. And then even the hood of the buckle portion is double finished, the flanks in polish and the bridge in satin. Nice. So the timepiece is well made but simple. The case is decidedly strong, with the lugs in the mid case defining it in profile. The lugs are squared off and somewhat downturned at their edge. You can see they have satin finished hoods and then a flaring transitional bevel down their flanks, polished case flanks. The watch has a nice arc or camber. It does sort of slide over and around the wrist rather than flaring out directly, and the short cropped downturned lugs do help the ergonomic equation here. The bezel itself is very minimalist. You can see there's more to the sapphire than there is to the bezel. It's conical, it's slim, it's a rose gold halo, and the crystal is a wonderfully elaborate piece. It's both domed and boxed, so it has the box section profile that makes it thick and tall, and then the dome that makes it cambered over the top. That is the most expensive theoretical combination of sapphire features. If you want to go cheap, you just go flat. If you want to add more money and a more elegant look, you go with domed. And if you want to really spend some cash, you go box section. Domed and box section, special watch. Indeed, that's exactly what you're getting. The dial of the watch features a module developed between Zenith and Dubois de Praz during the 1990s when Ebel and Zenith were both part of the same ownership. They collaborated on development of this module with Dubois de Praz, and it is a very comprehensive module. You have the day, the date, the month, the leap year phase, and a 122-year moon phase that's right, requires adjustment only once every 122 years. Now there are a number of coaxial registers. You have the moon phase as well as chronograph hours at 6 o'clock. You have the date as well as the chronograph minutes at 3. At 9 o'clock you have the day of the week in constant seconds, and then quantième bissextile displayed at 12 o'clock, the leap year being the blue quarter of the 48-month cycle. All applique red gold indices and loomed. The watch has a sunburst pattern at the center. It's a silvered sunburst, and then there are concentric scales outboard for reading the minutes and chronograph seconds as well as fractions of a second, and they feature differing tones as well as textures. Now the dial does feature that characteristic smooth sweep of the 10 beat per second Zenith El Primero, rotating past the crown and chronograph pushers for details. Check that out, 100 meters water resistant. This could be your sports watch on a water resistant band. 50 pieces, a limited edition, and a very special one. The timepiece features a skeletonized and hand-finished rose gold 22 karat winding mass, not 21, not 18, 22 karat. And you'll also note that it is an El Primero chronograph caliber, beating away at 36,000 vibrations per hour. That's why the chronograph hand is so smooth. You'll also note that the watch features a lateral clutch system that is wonderfully open and visible. You can see the column wheel, which is crisp. It's a pleasure to hear and feel interacting with the levers and horns of the chronograph, you can see the lateral clutch away from and into contact with the chronograph center array. And then you can see the recentering hammers fall on the hard cams at center. 31 joules over 300 parts, 50 to 52 hour power reserve, and that characteristic double step cadence. The first fully integrated high beat automatic chronograph caliber in 1969, still going strong today. This is a rare and special Zenith timepiece, a watch with a sense of occasion and immense mechanical accomplishment. You can see it and make it yours on the Watchbox. Zenith El Primero Perpetual Calendar. Set it and forget it. You're good to go till the year 2100.